Welcome to Blind Cafe's Naked DJs podcast, where every day we expose ourselves to the very best music. Some days we like to shake it up, some days we let it all hang out, and others we just like to stick it out there for you to listen to.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome to another meeting of the Naked DJs. We have a great turnout tonight. We have Foxy Lady J, and we have Lightning Blind Mike, Dr. Johnny Love, Curveball, and the Tominator. And of course, me, DJ Maria. Oh, today we have a couple of great topics. We're going to start with Julie and the Morgan Wallen story. And what's going on there, Julie?
Well, I was very surprised to see radio stations had taken off of their radio. Also, iHeartRadio, Spotify. So immediately I hit Amazon up and asked if she would play a song of his, and she did. So I then looked for my news to see if I could find an article, and there it was, headline: Morgan Wallen, Wallen, uses a racial slur, and he's now gonna topple. I mean, he's only 27, and he went up the ladder very quickly. He just came out with a brand new album titled Dangerous, and most of the songs went to number one. They even knocked Gabby Barrett off of the number one spot. She'd been there for 90 weeks. The following week she did go back to number one, but he did kick her off for a week. So with me doing Nashville Now every morning, it's a top 10 countdown. He has 5 songs in the top 10. He has had for the past 3 weeks. And then today I went further down on my Billboard chart total. In the top 50, I was amazed to hear that 1 minute you can be at the top like that. His label dropped him. His friends on Twitter were just saying this is not a representative of country music. And I forget the Gary on, something like that, said, "You gotta be kidding." She said, "I've been going through this. Do you want to read some of my hate mail?" I guess she's a person of color that's trying to get into country music. And she said, "It's been like this for a long time." That's exactly how they talk. Well, just to tell you what happened, he had been out with some friends that night. They came home and were honking their horns down to where his house was. And I guess it woke his neighbor up. And they went in his yard and they were laughing and joking, talking about the evening. And then when his friends were getting ready to leave, one of them is a person of color, and he used the N-word to him to say goodnight. And the lady next door had her iPhone out and was videotaping it. She quickly sent it to TMZ, who splashed the news everywhere.
Let me just say, as a black person, he probably didn't mean it like, like white slavery type. It was a different way.
Exactly.
And if he talks like that, then they were comfortable doing that. They do that all the time. That was not a racial slur. This is just an example of the cancel culture. If you mess up and do something somebody don't like, right now it's starting with certain groups, and people think it's funny until it gets to their group, because they don't realize that's what's going to eventually happen. If you do something to make somebody mad, canceled.
I was going to bring that up in a little bit. That was going to be one of my questions as I unkeyed and moved on. Apparently, last May, Morgan had a DUI. He was arrested for
A
bad
DUI?
behavior. No, yeah, but it was bad behavior. Then he was kicked out of Kid Rock's pub. And then last November, he was going to be on SNL. But they had seen a video of him at a football game, and he was not wearing a mask, and he was kissing all the women that were coming up to him, and so SNL decided not to have him on the show.
I call this the extreme left to take away our freedom of speech and make us a very socialistic, communistic country. And it's going way too far.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It was taken
It's getting
out of
like
context.
Russia.
Yeah.
Yes, if you blow your nose wrong, your neighbor is going to send you off to somebody. But my questions to everyone is, like Curtis said, these were probably friends, and that's the way they always say goodbye to each other. This is country. And do you think that what the neighbor did was an invasion of their privacy? He was in his own garden, and I'm sure that she was paid very well for that video.
Absolutely. She stuck her nose into business that wasn't hers. Period.
Well, and that's the thing too. Just like Curtis said, people have their friends. People talk to each other as friends, as how they do it. It had nothing to do with race or color, as in the text they were using it in. That was just how they talk to each other. So, and it was, in his own house, in his backyard. It's his own property. It should have never. It wasn't like it was out in public when this happened, and that's where you can get into a lot of trouble. But the neighbor, Julie, to your answer to your question, the neighbor was definitely out to get him because she was probably tired of getting woken up by his drinking friends and all that. So she was doing something to catch him, and she caught him. And I just don't know if he can sue or do anything, because that's invasion of privacy, I would think, for doing that to someone in their own house.
She can be sued because it's taking a video without his consent.
And to make things worse, yesterday morning he was on a morning show and he was announcing the CMA Awards, to which he has been nominated Artist of the Year, Album of the Year, Song of the Year, Best New Artist. And today in the news they've stripped. So what do you guys think about that?
I was going to say, I'm surprised they even let him go to the awards now. And it doesn't matter how much he sues, the damage has been done. He's not going to recoup that money that he's going to be losing.
That's
I don't know.
right.
That's another.
Right or wrong, all these places, the radio stations, iHeartRadio, the CMA Awards that dropped him are probably doing it because they're afraid of losing revenue. And that's not going to go away.
Now, it's funny that you brought up the money situation, because Julie and I and Rick and Ricky were just talking about it earlier, that a lot of people, as in like Billie Eilish, sings on YouTube and makes millions of dollars. She's not with a label. She makes her own money. So if it ruins him as in getting a label, then I could see him going to YouTube and selling the same amount of songs and making even more money, because YouTube doesn't take as big as a cut.
No, they're going to ban him. Just like they did certain politicians.
Right,
they're going to ban him.
Yeah, they're going to follow the public, whether he said it out of friendship or hate, whatever.
But it's not the public, though. It's the corporate and political. So the public knows exactly that. Go ahead, Tom.
The liberal left, they're pulling all the strings. Period. And it's ridiculous. It's going way too far.
I guess time will tell, MJ, if the public speaks out and says we want him back. Maybe he will have a comeback.
They would have been speaking out when he got banned from the radio stations. If they wanted, they're going along with that he's racist. It's not read in the put in context like Julie said it. It's that he's racist and he said a racial slur. And that lady that recorded him making a whole bunch of money from TMZ, and the media is not going to let it come out like that. It's going to come out how they want it, and he's through.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of.
27, sorry, Johnny, 27 years of age, you hit the jackpot, and you can come down that fast.
Growing up, I mean, when I was younger, my friends and I, we would call each other the N-word. I don't know if Morgan Wallen used the ER at the end of it or the GA, because we used to call each other both versions, but that's when we were growing up and stuff like that. So we're all friends. But it brings me to mind of Jerry Lee Lewis, who basically committed rock and roll career suicide when he married his 13-year-old cousin, and he basically had to go over and do country music just to get back on the track. I wonder if Morgan Wallen will have to do the same thing, maybe.
Well, I was very surprised when I was putting together my top 10 for Monday. I noticed he still had 5 songs. He was not number 1 this week, but he still had 5 songs in the top 10. So people must still have been buying his records this week.
Yep, and playing his music. So they're not giving a horrible opinion, as in, like I said, all the politicalness that's going on. All the fans are still playing his music.
Exactly. I mean, okay, yeah, they can, the radio stations, the CMA. By the way, his label suspended him indefinitely. I don't know if they canceled his contract, but I read somewhere they suspended him. Which, I mean, but hey, the fans are still listening to his music. He's still going to make money.
Royalties on it, yes.
They're still gonna listen to it. So basically, the fans are going to do what the fans want to do.
As I said, time will tell.
Well, let's face it, the Dixie Chicks made a comeback. The Chicks now, but they made a comeback. And if
but the Dixie Chicks wasn't around in this time of cancel culture and talking about all this race and, you know, everybody's racist and somebody's called, you know, it was a different time.
You're absolutely right, Curtis. It is a different time today. The world is topsy-turvy. I don't know what's happened. So this will be interesting to see if he can make a comeback. He did say he was going to take a break for a while. I'm sure you'll see his stuff.
So just to add on to the thing, because you brought up, you know, the Dixie Chicks and so, do you think they're going to cancel out Dixie music now? Dixie, you know, the music itself? What's it called? Dixieland music?
No, they ain't going to do that. Come on.
I know. But the thing is, though, why? So then why change your name? Because you have to join into the political side of it. And the Dixie Chicks, that's what got them kicked out the first time, because they disagreed with the politics. Now they're going along with it. And no, I promised I would not get into it. So yes, Morgan Wallen, will just have to wait and see.
Because they want their popularity back. But like I said, you know, when Jerry Lee Lewis came back, he actually went under another name. He went under the name The Hawk, and he did a piano version of In the Mood, and everybody knew it was The Killer. And then when he jumped over to do country stuff, they were like, okay, yeah, he's back. He can do this. So he had jump-started his career doing that. I mean, is Morgan Wallen going to do go rock and roll or something like that? You know, maybe
rap.
No. They already do country rap. It's called hip hop. Ask Cowboy Troy.
Hip hop.
It's like a hiccup, like it's a hip hop.
Listen to what is it? Big and Rich. Roland, the Ballad of Big and Rich. He does some hip hop in there. Cowboy Troy.
Very good.
Well, that, and he also did a song called "I Played Chicken with the Train."
But
I bet the train wins.
referring to the name Hick, isn't that also politically incorrect?
I am not a hick. I am a redneck.
There is so much I knew I was going to mess that up. I tried to say it properly. politically incorrectness that it's not even funny. Normally when you talk about being politically correct, there's a joke behind it, but none of this is funny.
Golly.
Well, it's like unity, every time you turn around now, I'm doing what I told Michael not to do. Every time you turn around, we have to be unified, and everybody should be in unity together. I have not in 2 weeks yet, except a pen, and I can't even see that. It's about time that pen ran out of ink.
So basically, we're all saying that Morgan Wallen, since he's taking a break. So I guess my question to all of you, so on this subject, do you guys think his career's over? Do you think he can rebound from it? I've seen just as worse from other actors and actresses and singers, and they still bounce back. But like we all said, it's a different time.
Yeah, it's a different time.
Yeah. So do you think he can bounce back?
But
He'll probably have to go independent.
All the rappers, they still top 20 or top 40 that's out today, and the songs I have to listen to just to get 20 songs for a playlist, they use that word in songs all the time, and the F-bomb.
Yeah. Good point.
Right, that's right. That's cool for black people, but not for white people.
It's the liberal left's media, the liberal left media's double standard. They make it whatever's convenient that'll promote their agenda at the time.
So basically, Julia brought up a good point though, because the pop top 40, we have to get through for the radio station. We have to listen to some of the songs like Drake and a few others. They use that N-word all the time in their songs, but how come they're not being ridiculed? I mean, I know country's country.
Because it's cool for them to do it because they're black, but every white person is racist according to the media, and no matter what context it was used in,
they're going to use it as racist. All right.
The UK top 40 is the worst. There's now the mumbling
rap or mumble rap.
Oh yeah, mumble rap.
These English,
I hate that.
And they're not African American. These are white English people from Birmingham, the ones that have strong accents and stuff. Because, Billie Eilish, I know she's of color, but I'm saying she's from England, and they mumble all these words. You've got to hold your headphone against your ear to see if they're using that word or worse.
Oh, come on, Julie. I mean, come on. No, you mean there's nothing wrong with that.
Come on.
And I would never use any mumble songs, mumble rap, whatever you want to call it, in my shows whatsoever. I don't think it belongs. It doesn't matter if they use clean words or not. It's just horrible. It really it takes away from the singing altogether. Singing was singing, not sit there going, "Oh, come on," it's just horrible.
Right. In order to enjoy a song, you want to understand the words.
Well, I like the lyrical rap. The stuff that's out now is just what it is, and apparently somebody likes it because they're around. If nobody liked it, they wouldn't be.
I like the old school. I like where it was back to where it was the Fat Boys and Run DMC and Roxanne, UTFO.
I actually play 1 or 2 per 20 songs, rap songs, in my Manic Monday because it's upbeat and up-to-date music. And there are some that I can handle. Just like yours, Curtis, it was excellent. So, I love music. Music is music. I don't know how...
Hey, maybe Morgan Wallen will actually go to Mumble Country.
I think that, Julie, from what you said, Morgan Wallen is a bad boy. He's got bad manners, but there's no reason to believe that he would deliberately say anything racist or try to insult anyone in that way. And yeah, I definitely think it was taken out of context. And
So let me just ask, the friend that he was with and anything, he probably won't even defend him and say, oh, no, that wasn't that. We do that all the time. He probably won't even defend him.
I doubt if they've even interviewed him, but I'm with Maria. This guy is 27 years old, and he just became an overnight sensation. A lot of stars have a hard time with that, you know, and he was probably just trying to be hip and a part of the scene. And that's why he was at Kid Rock's. That's
and
why
he's
he
still
has
young.
DUI, yes.
Yeah, he's young. He still wants to party and all that.
That's true, you know. And you know, you asked if if his career's over. No, I don't think Morgan Wallen's career's over, man. Going down to the liquor store, give some Mad Dog 2020, you know.
Well, you know, I think not wearing a mask and kissing someone, DWI is pretty
I agree
bad.
with that.
Well, you can't
But
kiss somebody with a
this
mask
is-
on.
Okie dokie.
We're
I'm
in
not
the
even
middle.
going to ask you how you know that.
We're in the middle of a pandemic. It was in the write-up, but you know, thinking about what Maria said and Curtis said, I doubt if they've even interviewed the people that he was with to see what the actual story is. This, remember, is all coming from TMZ, and we all know what kind of a tabloid
Exactly.
they are.
Yeah, they're the video version of The Inquirer.
But I thought that was an
Yes.
excellent question. We're going to have to keep an eye out on that and possibly do a follow-up on this story, because if they do interview his friends and so on, and find out what they say, I think that could be another whole conversation for another night.
I think we should. I like that idea.
Should I ask the question, will BCR be playing his music?
Well, of course.
Yeah.
Blind Café
Oh.
Radio.
We are!
Way to go, Julie.
Airplane shot went right over Julie's head.
That was funny, Maria. I have to play his music Monday morning because he's in the top 10 country countdown. I got a tear in my eye. That was funny.
Yeah, and before we change subject, I guess I don't know when we're doing this or not, but just because they took it out of context and they're trying to make it racial doesn't mean that we have to follow the same pattern and do the same thing. If we're gonna play his music, yes, we're gonna play his music. I mean, you just can't do that to someone.
I'm with you, Michael. I'm not going to play politics. You know, he's a singer. He's a very good singer. He did this in his own backyard with his own friends. And to me, that's his business. It's none of ours.
I agree.
And it's none of the media's, to be honest.
I'll play his music on my next show on Wednesday. I'll do that because I want to hear. I got to find his album and hear what it sounds like. Speaking of playing the music, does that mean I can play like some Tupac and NWA on my shows, Jewel?
Hey, there's a Tupac song I want to play, but it was actually a duet with Elton John.
Now, if it's a duet,
And get the clean version.
yes.
All right, so I guess we're gonna head back to our regular scheduled program. Maria, if you want to get the second conversation going.
All right, great topic, Julie. And now we have another great topic from Johnny. This is kind of a continuation of our discussion last week. What do you think is going to happen after the pandemic in live entertainment as far as music goes? Take it, Johnny.
That's right. With the pandemic going on, when or if the pandemic ever ends. But do you think that the live shows are going to go back to being normal status quo, or is it going to be different things like seating wise, tickets? You think people are they're going to keep the hand sanitizer stuff around? And,
You'll have to have a vaccine to get a ticket.
And if you're the promoter, and I want everyone to answer this, if you're the promoter, what would you guys do to change, or you're not going to make any changes at all?
Well, first, I would say that I don't think the pandemic's ever going to end because they got more different types of it now, strands of it, and they're already on the third strand. It's still mutating, so I don't know what's going to happen. But as for changes and stuff, I'll be the last one to comment on that one.
That's a good idea. I liked it. I want to hear yours very last, my MJ.
Well, they could have hand sanitizers at the concession stands. I imagine that there will still be remote concerts. And I don't know, I'm guessing they would have to try and sell the in-person concerts as a new freedom, maybe. Or, something new and exciting to get people out there again.
I think people will always long for live and in person. I don't think that's ever going to go away. How it's presented and how it will be promoted, I think the quote new normal will definitely play into it.
Okay, Tom. How would you're the promoter. How would you go about promoting it? You're going to go just keep same status quo? You're going to do all new different?
I might mix it up a little bit personally. The big thing that a lot of folks are gravitating to of late is the drive-in concert concept. And I'd charge by the carload.
Yes, we talked about that last week, and that is a good idea right there.
That does seem to be pretty big right now, but it's the young people. They're going to want middle-aged people.
What were you going to say about yourself, Julie?
We also talked about the concert channel. If I was a promoter, I would be pushing that along too, because with this pandemic, the lockdown's probably going to be turned on and off and on and off, and you still got to have a way to make money,
And like you said last week, this new Zoom, you can have lots of people in different places and all watch a big screen TV together. But going back to live concerts, if they do go back, like Curtis said, they would have to have something saying that they've had the shot. Mind you, they are available on sale now. There are certificates, fake ones out, and they would have to do something, especially indoor concert halls like the Amway, seats apart, maybe separate seats instead of long benches. They would have to go to seats and the top, like when you're at Disney World. I don't know if you've ever been in the haunted house. You're in a tall, high back chair, and maybe they would have sides on.
You mean like plexiglass on them and stuff? And I believe Home Free right now, when they do their videos, they do it on Zoom or Skype or something like that, I think.
Concert pods, like a seat with arms and plexiglass all around the front.
I like that, Maria, and they could put the speakers in there and you would get a 60-degree stereo.
Yeah, and if they don't like you, then just put gas in there and you can gas chamber them right there.
I agree with Tom, though. I don't think that live concerts and the demand for them is going to disappear completely. I think that there is a comeback.
I agree.
Coming for that.
Yeah, I think as soon as they say, okay, everyone can go out and go, live, go back to doing what you were doing. And with this concert's coming up, that concert's going to sell right out.
Curtis, did you do promoting as a music with you being in music, or did you just produce it, or did you promote it as well?
Oh, I just produced it. Or actually, I didn't even produce it. I just dropped the lyrics and kind of gave input on the production.
So you didn't help with any of the promoting, the sales, how you did it, bringing people in to listen to your music?
Well, I mean, I told people about it as far as word of mouth, but as far as sales, I never got to the point where I was making any money. But I did word of mouth promotion and, would actually go around people and get in crowds and do free stuff. People to like it.
Word of mouth is a lot better than the regular advertising.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Johnny.
All right. So since I was a wrestling promoter, and not a music promoter, it's basically going to be the same thing though, as in, because it's entertainment. You're bringing the crowd in, you're bringing the cash in, you're doing the merchandise, you're doing the food, you're doing the concessions, and so on. As a promoter, if everybody's starting to get vaccine shots and so on, and doing, stuff, I don't think I'd make a change. Now, the only change that I would make would be gimmicks in the ring. I have a couple ideas for that already. Wow, I've already thought of that. I'm surprised they haven't thought of it. But other than that, I would do the exact same thing. Fill the place up, sell the tickets, sell the concessions, because it all comes down to money. You have to make money. You have to be able to pay your talent. You have to, be able to satisfy your sponsors. You have to do all that. And just because people are doing ratings at home, or because there's so many televisions on, it's just not accurate, because you can have somebody in one house turn on 100 TVs just to try to help them make sales or satisfy the sponsors. When it comes to a live show, they want to see the crowd, they want to see the cheering, they want to see the yelling, the screaming, the entertainment, and that's what's going to sell a show. So as for bringing money in, no, I don't think music will bring the money in like it used to. If it goes to drive-in theaters and such, then artists are going to have to lower their prices and make things happen. There's going to be no money made in the music business or entertainment business if the live stuff gets shut down permanently.
Here's another idea. You could just do the concerts as regular, but put everybody in bubbles. China have those bubbles that everybody can, people can get in that way. You don't have to worry about anything. You just get in those bubbles, have everybody in their bubbles, and you could just go on about your business.
So they do have concert pods.
All right, hit the dance floor, everybody. Yeah, we boogie.
The bubble bump. I like it.
Like bumper cars.
Talk about a mosh pit.
But I might have went on a little bit of a rigmarole there, but, as a former promoter, yes, I would just keep things the same. I would push the live concert, and I would, try to make money how you know how to make money. Because if you don't have the live stuff, you don't have promoters anymore. You're cutting out the middleman. Everything is changing. I agree. We've talked about it in our last segment, as in with the Morgan Wallen thing. Everything's changing. It's a whole new world. Bottom line, we're just going to have to wait and see if they are going to make those changes. But look at the entertainment that's out there now. Football, baseball. They need to fill those stands. If they don't fill those stands, it's just not the same. You can tell by the people that play the sports and stuff. They don't play their heart out anymore when there's nobody out there watching them.
I can tell you right now, on the WWE, on Monday nights and Friday nights, they have Thunderdome. They have like TV sets there, and they give people link sound the same. They pipe in the sound still, but it doesn't sound the same as it does to a regular live crowd. I can tell you that. And a lot of wrestlers still say it feels strange. And you can hear them calling the match in the ring.
Julie, what was it called when people were? I guess anybody can answer this question, especially Marie and Johnny. They live out. But what was it called when people were drinking when they weren't supposed to and all that? Those clubs. What were those clubs called?
Raves.
Speakeasies. Yes.
Yeah.
It's going to be something like that. If the pandemic does not clear up, you're going to have a lot of places that are going to hold secret events and things like that. I could see that happening more than anything.
And the prices to go to one of these things is probably just going to go up.
Exactly, because everyone's going to make a buck, like Prohibition. Hey, everyone made their money. And the reason it was called a speakeasy, because when you came there, you tapped on the door, they pulled back the thing, and you spoke easy to the guy, or softly to the guy at the door, like a little code word, and he'd let you in.
What, you mean you can't show up and say, hey, how much is it to get in?
No. What you tell him is, hey, Joe sent me.
Say that with your mafioso Marlon Brando type accent.
Hey, Joe sent me.
Yeah, that was all right.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
Well, thanks everyone for dropping in on the Naked DJs. We had a great time, and I think we had a great conversation today, and we hope to see you next time. Bye, folks.
And I would just second what Maria said. We want to thank you guys for joining us and say, please be sure to subscribe, rate, and review if you love this episode of the Naked DJs podcast. Until the next time, catch you later from Blind Café Radio, the station that raises Cain.
Go and check out Blind Café Radio at blindcaferadio.com, and also follow us on Twitter at Blind Café Radio and on Facebook at Blind Café Radio. Make sure you visit our webpage at blindcaferadio.com, where you can visit our naked DJ. And this is the Blind Café Kangaroo signing off.